Oh, I know it's hard, guys. I know it's hard because life is tough sometimes and it's not always going to be easy. And, you know, there's going to be days where you're going to feel down bad about yourself and there's going to be days where you're going to feel good. We almost like need to change the narrative a little bit. If you're growing as a person and you're around my age, at the end of the day, this point in life, you do want to create something for yourself. It's almost like you need to start setting foundations in stone and build a life for yourself. That's fine. I'm willing to, that to me means more to me than the job. So the job is minor in that sense, because I'm like, no, because this is helping create that mindset. It's all about mindset. Hi my loves, I just really felt called to talk about a subject about 9 to 5, the 9 to 5 job. So I'm 31 and I've been working since I was 13. So like when I was in school, I actually worked at a chip shop. I was only 13 years old and I was making like cash in hand. I was only doing a couple of hours a week, and then I bumped it up doing 2 hours on a Saturday, and then I think on like a Thursday or something like that I was doing like 5 hours in the chippy. So like I feel like my whole life I've been grinding. I think just having ADHD has caused me to kind of get bored quite quickly of something and then want to maybe make a bit more money or want to try something new. So I've like moved on to something else. I'm actually working at the moment, but working from home. And like for a really, really long period of my life, I have felt really like, oh, I hate working, I hate these jobs. I really don't want to be doing this. I've worked in the office environment for the longest period of time, and this job that I've got currently, I've worked at this job, I think it's coming up, it'll be 5 years this year, which is crazy because I usually leave a job within like either a year or a year and a half because I get bored or I want to go and find something different. And last year I asked to go part-time because I wanted to focus on a business that I was trying to create on the side. Basically, it turned out that actually that even though I created the business and I started and everything and I had clients, it just wasn't, again, it was like that same feeling of like, this isn't fulfilling me. But basically, I've been really thinking about it the past few days and, well, to be honest, the past couple of weeks. I've basically gone back to full-time hours now because one, the business, I didn't want to do it anymore. Like it just didn't feel aligned with me anymore. I found God and the business was just not aligning with that completely because it was a Reiki healing business, an energy healing business and shamanic healing, and it just wasn't for me anymore. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel like, but although I was going to say it didn't feel like it was of God's way, but I actually stopped it before I even really was conscious towards my now path in Christianity, which is a brand new path for me, by the way. I'm the last person anybody would have thought, myself included, I would have been on, but here we are. And I feel like ever since I've found God, it's given me this like feeling of gratitude for what I do have. I genuinely feel so grateful for my job now, and I'm going to be honest with you, like my 9 to 5 job is not something that lights me up, in a sense of like the job itself that I have to do isn't exciting. It's not like something that's like, you know, allowing me to be creative. I basically spend my days in spreadsheets, data entry. I work in technical monitoring. I have to check whether there's any problems. I have to like make sure we've got the right documents, that kind of thing, right? Onboarding new installers and stuff like that. So the job in itself, it doesn't excite me. It doesn't light me up. But I feel so grateful for it right now. And I think that like there was a really big solid period of time, especially online, where entrepreneurship was like massive. It was a massive thing. And I think the problem with that, the problem for me, it was that it caused me to be so like, I don't want to do this job. I don't like this job. I hate this job. And I felt so much hatred towards it and so much resentment towards it that made me have worse days. Like I felt like my days working would feel a lot more of a push, a lot more of a strain, a lot more like, you know, like I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be there. So I was just always thinking about what could be. I was always like thinking in a different timeline, in a sense of like, well, that's what I want to do. This isn't what I want to do. And yeah, this could this could potentially just be a temporary job, but for how long? It could be years, it could be months, who knows? But I've worked at this job now since 2020. It's now 2025, the beginning of 2025. And I just think that it's important that we actually are grateful for what we do have, because I feel like when we're grateful for what we do have and we're grateful for what God has provided for us already in our lives, you actually feel so much more content with it. And it doesn't mean to say that because you're content, you're not going to like, you know, have goals for something else, or, you know, put energy and time into something else. But it just makes, I feel like I've been showing up better at work, to be honest, since I've been more grateful for it. I feel like my productivity levels is a lot better. I feel like I have a lot more gratitude for the company in itself. And actually the team that I work for, I really love everyone that I work with, and I really like how my director of the team like manages us. I like my manager, like I get on well with my colleagues. I don't mind going into the office and spending time with everyone because I just get on really well with everyone, and it just feels like a very like good environment to be working in personally. And like I've not felt this way towards a 9-to-5 job in a long, well, ever. I don't know actually, a long time maybe, ever, I don't know, but like I just felt like I needed to talk about this because, you know, there's so many things out there, like videos. I used to love watching videos of like people that have quit their jobs and like pursuing their own thing, but like it almost makes you feel disheartened if you want to like be an entrepreneur, right, or you want to like do something specific. Like I love content creation. I'd love to do content creation full time, but realistically, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that because I don't have the funds to be able to just quit my job and then try and pursue content creation full time, especially when I'm a small channel. I don't make money off of this. Like, you know, I'm not monetized on YouTube. And so, like, it would be silly of me to just quit my job and just pursue this. Like, I can understand if people would do that if they have like a stash of state savings aside, and then they knew that they could pay their bills every month from that for at least 6 months, and then they can also have money to like fund their food, you know, anything that they need to use on a monthly basis. If you've got a stash of money aside to do that, fair enough. I live in a real world. I'm a real normal person who does not have loads of money. I live with my parents. I'm trying to save to buy, which is probably going to be like another couple of years, to be honest. So I'm 31 years old. I live with my parents still. You know, I did live in my own flat, but it wasn't my flat, it was rented, and that was only for a year. And so I realised that actually I needed to come back, I needed to stack savings, and I needed to, you know, I wanted to eventually buy a place, not my own place, but me and my partner want to buy. So like that's going to take a couple of years to be able to build that up. This is why we need to be grateful for our 9-to-5s, or what we do have at the time, because my 9-to-5 job is funding that. My 9-to-5 job is actually helping me save my money to put towards a home, you know. And actually I think sometimes we just need to accept where we are and work with what we've got, you know. Accept where we are and work with what we've got, because, you know, and also follow God's guidance, you know. Every day take each step as it comes, because I think that like a lot of the time we think ahead and we try and actually figure it all out ourselves, but actually leaving it in God's hands and actually just letting God guide us, and then taking each step as it comes, like every day just taking each step with God. It almost takes the pressure off you, and it allows you to just trust and surrender that like whatever your goal is, and if it's God's will, it will be done. Like it will happen, and you just have to like let go of like the attachment of when and how and this and that. And it's just like if that's God's will, it will be done, you know. If you just keep waking up every day being at least a little bit grateful for what you already have in place, you know. If you do have a job and you're making some money from it, be grateful for that. Like it's an energy exchange, so you're showing up, you're doing some work for them, they're then giving you some money back, right? So if that's what you are in at the moment, that's the situation you are in at the moment, then just ride with that, like, you know. And if you do feel like you want to, you know, make a bit more money, you feel like you need a bit more money to cover your bills and save a bit more, then look for another job, and but just be just be grateful, guys. I think that's the point I'm trying to say. Like, I think for a period of my life, like, I used to be quite grateful, but then I lost that gratitude, and I feel like God's really gave that back to me. He's really reminded me through reading the Bible and just like studying the Bible. It's actually helped me feel a lot more grateful for what I do actually have. Like, I feel grateful that my parents have allowed me to live in back home with them. Like, I feel grateful that I've got this space, my own room, and I feel grateful that I have a job that pays me a reasonable wage, enough for me to save money to put towards my home, because my home is eventually going to be funded through my work. So like, I'm grateful that I've got really amazing like colleagues. I'm grateful that I get on with them really well. I'm grateful that my work is flexible, that I'm able to work from home. Like, you know, I am just an average person that works an average 9-to-5 job. Like, I'm nothing special, my job's nothing special, but I can feel like it's special to me, because, and I can make it seem like, to you, I might be making it sound like, you know, that it's a really beautiful, like, but in a way, like, yeah, it is, like, it is, I can make it sound special, even though it really isn't. It's just your average day to day, you know. Like, at the end of the day, life is hard, you know. Life can be tough, life can be challenging. Through the period of 2023 to 2024, the whole of 2024 pretty much, I went part-time, and I was struggling with money, like, big time, because I went from full-time to part-time. I was really struggling with money. I was struggling to save money, and like, I noticed myself feeling really, really stressed about it. So I ended up going back full-time, and I actually feel more productive now that I'm full-time, and actually, like, you know, just putting time and energy into work. As soon as I log off at 5 o'clock, I'm logged off. Like, I don't think about work, I don't worry about work, I don't stress about work. I just log off, I log back in the next day, you know. And I just think that, like, if we wake up every day and feel like, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, like, I hate this, I hate that, like, that energy is going to just run through your day, and you're going to feel shit. You're going to feel crappy about your job. You're going to feel like resentful towards your job. You're not going to be grateful for like the money that you're going to be making at the end of the month for that. Like, you're not going to feel like you want to do much. You're going to feel less productive, to be honest, because you're just going to be like, ugh, you know. And don't get me wrong, like, I don't always feel like bubbly and positive every day I wake up, but like, I do wake up some days and I think, do you know what, I'm really grateful for this. Yes, I might not have my own home yet, and most of my friends are living in their own space. Yes, you know, I'm not making like loads of money, but I'm making enough to get by. I'm making enough to, like, you know, pay my bills, put some money in my savings. Like, I should be grateful for that. Like, there could be people that would love to be in this position, and if I'm sitting here and feeling all like resentful towards it and negative towards it, then like, why not give that to someone else that actually appreciates it, you know? Like, I just spent so much of my life, guys, so much of my life hating my jobs, and I think that, like, you spend half of your life pretty much working. So like, if I'm going to hate it, then I'm just going to spend half of my life being miserable and resentful and, you know, not feeling grateful at all. But if it's a mindset thing, if you just switch your mindset to being like, okay, well, what are the pros about this job? Okay, it's giving you money every month. You might be able to get a bonus if you're at a good workplace. You get to socialise with people that you like. Obviously, if you're working in a place or you're working for a company that, like, you don't get on with people that work there, then, you know, maybe it is time that you do look for something else. At the end of the day, we have to work to get by. At the end of the day, we have to make money to get by. And, you know, it's not easy. You know, it's not easy out here. And you know, you could be one of those people that just quits and tries to make, you know, content creation a thing. But it's going to take time. You have to just, like, you don't know, like, what could happen. You don't know what random bills could just pop out of nowhere. Like, if you've got a bit of, you know, money aside, you've got a job that's funding you every month, then you create almost like a safety net for yourself. And it's important to be good with your money. Like, make sure you are saving some money aside in an account that is locked, so you know that, like, you can't get into it. It just helps you stack, like, some bits aside. Even if you've got nothing to save for, just having a little stash aside in case any, like, random bills pop out of nowhere, you've got that money to pay for it. So, like, I just think, like, we're everyday people, right? We're everyday people, and I think there's a lot of influences out there that like kind of make you feel a bit disheartened about your life, because you're like, oh, I want to be there, but it's like, you know, you will get there, but just start every day with feeling grateful for what you've got, feeling grateful for like what God has provided for you already, you know, feel grateful for that, and like just take each day as it comes, take each step as it comes, and just work to like grow yourself and build your life up, and you know, start putting some savings aside, and just like feeling a bit more positive about your day, you know. Oh, I know it's hard, guys. I know it's hard because life is tough sometimes, and it's not always going to be easy, and you know, there's going to be days where you're going to feel like down bad about yourself, and there's going to be days where you're going to feel good. We almost like need to change the narrative a little bit. If you're growing as a person and you're around my age, like at the end of the day, this point in life, you know, you do want to create something for yourself. Like it's almost like you need to start setting foundations in stone, because eventually I want to, you know, in the future I want to have children. I want to be able to have a home that I can have children in. Like I don't want to be pregnant living in this house, for example. So like, and I don't want to be living with my parents forever, and like, you know, there's things like that. So like eventually you're going to want to set foundations down and build a life for yourself. Pray to God every day and ask God for his guidance, and ask God to help you take each step as it comes, and just work with him, you know, get guidance from him, pray to him, listen to God. Wake up every day and just try not to worry about tomorrow. Like try not to stress about tomorrow, because tomorrow will stress about itself. I used to be a massive worrier, and I can be, and I can get really, really in my head sometimes, and I'm really, really trying to work with that and just work with God, and just like give it to God. give it to God. He'll deal with it. I will just ride the wave and trust. Like it's almost like I'll just lay back on the water and just allow the water to take me down the river without me trying to like swim my way, because if I swim my way down the river, I'm going to wear myself out. I'm going to get tired very quickly. But whereas if I can just lay back and just float and just see where it takes me, it's a lot less stressful, it's a lot less pressure. I don't get as tired as quickly. I don't, you know, feel like I'm trying to rush and there's this like anxiety behind it. It's just, you almost just sit back and just let the current take you. And I think that's, yeah, it's a lot less pressure, it's a lot less stressful, and that to me sounds a lot nicer. And just laying there in gratitude of like the path that God is laying out for you, the path that God's got planned for you, it just feels a lot nicer, you know. And yeah, guys, I can honestly say I feel a lot more productive and a lot less resentful towards my work since I've been feeling this way, waking up every day and just feeling more gratitude for and praying to God, praying thanks to God. Thank you, God, for providing me with this life. Like, thank you for putting these things in place for me. Thank you for putting me in this job that I actually like the people that I work with. I'm really grateful for the money that I receive every month. Like, I'm grateful that they're flexible. Like, it's the perfect kind of 9-to-5 job for me, because I get to work from home 3 days a week and go into the office 2 days a week. That's perfect for me. I don't want to be going in the office every day. Some people prefer that. Little things like that, it's like, that's actually a massive pro, because like most jobs in the past I've had to go in every day. So it's commuting every day, you're paying money for petrol, you have to like get yourself a bit more put together every day, you know, you've got to be interactive face to face, and that can be quite tiring sometimes, you know. You have to get up earlier because obviously commute and stuff, and then obviously you've got to commute home, and that's sometimes could be quite long for people if they work like half an hour away from home. And it's little things like that, like we don't think about that. But obviously everyone's situation is different. I can't just speak for everyone because my situation is different to your situation. You've got to just find like the pros within it, and if you find that like cons of work, the cons of your 9-to-5 outweigh the pros, then it might be time to start thinking about something different. Because yeah, like there's workplaces that are just really, really not good to work for. There's some workplaces that absolutely rinse every single ounce of your energy like out of you. You're dry, you are drained, you know, like they just take a lot. But I just want to be like an inspiration in the sense of like, there is a possibility for you to have a job out there that is a 9-to-5, even if it's not your thing. You're a creative person, you don't want to be doing spreadsheets every day, but for the time being it's sweet, you know. But there is jobs out there that will suit you as a person, trust me. I never ever thought I'd get to this point where I'd be like somewhat grateful for my 9-to-5 job. I've always been so like negative about it and so like, ugh. And don't get me wrong, like there is days, but I feel like I'm just like learning to be more grateful, learning to have more gratitude. And that definitely makes you feel so much better about the day ahead. Trust me on this, because yeah, I've spent a lot of my life feeling very resentful and hatred and have had hatred towards my job, and just feeling that bitterness, and like it just makes me have a worse day. It makes me feel worse about my life. Like it's just this negative like thought process that isn't gonna benefit you in any way. Like thinking that negatively all the time about things is not gonna benefit you. Like it's a mindset thing, guys. Like if you switch up your mindset, you might actually feel a little bit better about your job. But again, I know this isn't always this, you know, not everyone can feel this way, but I'm just saying it because I never felt this way. The amount of times I've like stressed about wanting to leave this job, and now I'm here 4 years later thinking, actually, do you know what, I'm so grateful for this, because if I didn't have this, I'd be struggling. Like if I didn't have this income coming in, I would be struggling. If I didn't have this income coming in, I would not be able to save for a future home. You know, yes, I'm spending my Mondays to Fridays working from 8:30 till 5, but that's fine. I'm willing to make that sacrifice to have a gain so that I'm able to create a life for myself outside of this. So I'm able to create a future for me and my future family that I want to have, you know, so that I'm able to create a family with Chad and have something that we can call our own, you know. That's fine. I'm willing to, that to me means more to me than the job. So the job is minor in that sense, because I'm like, no, because this is helping create that, you know, mindset. It's all about mindset. Just keep praying, guys. Keep praying for what you want for the future, but don't obsess about it. Don't then try and figure it out yourself. Just pray to God. Give thanks to God. Ask God to be with you every day. Ask God to guide you every day. And then ask God for what you want. Just tell him. Just speak to him like you're having a conversation with a friend. Just be like, God, this is what I, you know, really love, and this is what I really want to do. I trust that will be something in my life that will be bigger than what I can see it being now. And I trust that it will happen in your timing, in God's timing. It will be. But you have to have faith. You have to have faith, and you have to trust, and just be willing to be where you're at now for the time being, you know. Trust in God's timing. God's timing is everything. Anyway, my loves, I'll leave it there before I make this really, really long. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.